Another common tag that's used within HTML development, and you can see that in almost any web page that you go to, we've got a series of images. So the images are used throughout the web page, and we know that an image is worth 1,000 words, so always a good idea to include those images when you can. And images are really easy to include within your HTML. So we're going to actually get an image over from Placeholder, and basically they give you some placeholder images that you can link to in order to provide imagery within your HTML code. And we also have an example here of how we add an image tag. So it's img, and then we specify the source. So the source is the URL or the location of that image file. So if you've got that image file within the same directory as your web page, then you don't have very far to link it. If you've got a source like this one that's online, then you've got to go over and you've got to link it and include that HTTP. So let's create an image file, and for this lesson I'm going to jump over into CodePen, and I'm going to show you how we can add in the images in here, because with CodePen we're able to see whatever that's happening within real time in a live environment. So we've got our opening and closing, and notice as well that an image tag is self-closing tag, because that content, so we don't have an image opening and closing and then we're not doing it like this. So this would not make any sense where we've got an opening and closing and then the URL to the image. So we do have these self-closing tags that contain attributes, and the attribute for image is to get the source of the image, and then this is where we specify where the image location is. So we can do that over here, where if we go to this URL, we see that we've got this image. So basically it's outputting that image at that URL, so we can copy the link address, go over here, place it in the source, and boom, there we go. We've got our image showing up within our HTML code. Now Lorem Pixel actually gives us some actual real images, so I can copy out the link address of that one, and I can update the image here, and we can update images really easily within our web pages. And this is what I meant by when first we were, I'm not sure why that didn't come through, but we see that with Lorem Pixel you actually don't know what type of images you're going to get. You do have some choice here, so I can specify the choice of if I want sports or if I wanted cats and so on. So we saw that we can update those images, and we get these images coming through really easily within our web page. So I'm not sure if it was cat or cat. It was cats. And that's one of the downsides about Lorem Pixel, is that it does take some time sometimes to load these images. So if you are working and if you're not really concerned about the different image types, of course if you're presenting it to client, it's going to look a lot better if you have real images, but you can also use the placeholder images, or you can actually use your real images that you want to include within your web page. So it's as easy as that to add in images. So if you had a bunch of text here, you can add in an image within that paragraph, and we can see how that image gets displayed out. I'm going to actually update it, and I'm going to take this this URL here, and I'm going to update this so it's not taking as much time loading that in. So with images, we've also got some additional attributes that we can add in. So we've got an option where we can set the actual width of it. So this can be a pixel width of that image. And a lot of times you're going to see that this is being done through CSS instead. But you do have a choice, and previously with HTML we were able to set, or we've always been able to set the width, the height, and so on of the image, and if nothing is set then it just defaults to the width, height 100%. So here with placeholder image we can see that we can actually set the size here, and it sends our image sizes, and then also we can set this, so this is the default 100% size, and we can make adjustments on it within our image tags, but better yet, it's probably better to go with our CSS. So we can use percentages or pixels, and that will set the different heights and widths of the images as they get represented and rendered out within the web page. So the next lesson we're going to look also at how we can organize our content within our HTML structure by creating lists and unordered lists. So these are also commonly used within web pages, and that's coming up in the next set of lessons.